Why can't I walk from the corner where the cab dropped me off to my apartment without someone yelling the N-word at me outside of a car? Like, why is that a thing I'm dealing with?
I was 11 years old. I was at a convenience store.
I was 18. I was experimenting with YouTube.
I was between 7 and 9 years old, and I was with my mother. It was when I was at Columbia University. I was in grad school.
When I was studying abroad in a small town in Germany.
Just like at night, like walking down the street.
This random drunken dude outside the lecture hall yelled nigger at me.
The owner of the store came out and told us to get out, you bloody nigger.
These two white dudes in a car like drove by, and one yelled nigger and one yelled Afro.
I was at the cash register, and she asked me for proof of ID to prove that I went to Columbia University, and she hadn't asked the other students. I asked her why. She asked me and nobody else, and she just kind of muttered under her breath, you give these niggas an education and they think they know everything.
On YouTube, the commenters like a greasy N-word hanging from a tree.
We were stopped at a stoplight, and after sitting for a while, there was a very angry knock on her window. I look over to see a scruffy white guy in a trucker hat, not looking very happy. And then he says, well, fuck you, nigger, with me in the passenger seat.
If you're gonna use that word against me, like you're doing it to like get a rise out of me. But then you also have to deal with like people's expectations of like how you're gonna respond, I feel like.
After she said what she said, I kind of stood in shock for a moment, but then I took my things that I had purchased and went to the next cashier and asked to return them. And they were like, why? And I was like, because I'm not gonna pay to be called a nigga. When it happens to you, I think there's still such an innate shock because it's just like, it is 2013.
It was like 2010, and like I'm still having to like go down the street and like deal with like people like using that as like an insult against me.
Our ancestors were called that, and they didn't have any control over it.
I guess you bring it back to like slavery. You're not equal to us, and this is what they called everyone back in the days, and this is what we feel like is right to call you.
It was a word that was used purposefully with the intention of like keeping black people down and in their place.
They just see my skin color, and then the first thing that they think is like hatred.
This terrible word, basically, that I thought was exclusive to America and America's history with slavery had traveled across oceans to other countries. It was just really, yeah, it hurt.
Wow.